What is happening, everybody, on YouTube? Steve here with Raiken Profit, coming back to you guys with another video. And I am super pumped up and excited right now because I literally just had one of the best months on Amazon FBA that I ever had. And I want to share with you guys 10 items that I sold on Amazon FBA within my Amazon FBA business, hopefully to motivate you, to get you excited, to get you a little uppity so you can go out there to thrift stores, garage sales, retail stores, pawn shops, find these items, put them on Amazon, and make some money. So, with that being said, if you're ready to rock and roll, let's dive into this Amazon FBA sales update. First item that I sold was actually a garage sale find that I came across with my mother, aka Mama Profits, and we found this for I believe I paid $8. $8, and I was considering put it on eBay and selling it on that platform, and then I decided last minute, you know what, I think I'm going to put it on Amazon because the prices seem to be a little bit higher, and with the shipping and everything, I just felt like I was going to make a little more money on Amazon. Now, I sold this for 103 or $4. I think I could have got a little bit more for this. The item is Dream Phone. It's a vintage Milton Bradley game, 100% complete. $8. Actually, $5. I paid $5. They were asking 8. I think I could have definitely got a little more money, maybe 140, 150 if I waited it out Q4. But when you're in something for $5, just make your money. And I made my money. I probably made, I don't know, 60, $70 profit when all was said and done after fees. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But definitely a board game to be on the lookout for. If you ever find this thing brand new in the stretch wrap, that's a jackpot right there. This was used. It was complete. If you pick up any used games, go through the contents. There might be a little sheet of paper inside with all the contents, or on the back or side of the board game, you can look it up. This was 100% complete. Dream Phone, $100 and change. Made some really good money there. Next item that sold was actually a item that I ended up selling for about $18. Looks like the price has been dropping, which is tends to happen with a lot of clearance items, retail arbitrage items from the big box stores. But I picked this up from a big box store. I ended up getting like, I don't know, 12 or 13, sold out of all of them. I sold most of them at I think between $17 to $18. If I believe this was a really amazing rank. Let's take a look. 8,000 in toys. So super quick seller. Be on the lookout for this item right here. Ever After High. I don't know. Good Fairy Doll. But yeah, be on the lookout for this during Q4. This thing sold really quick for me. Next item that I sold, and I think this was the first time I've ever sold a light bulb on Amazon FBA. It was an LED 90-watt replacement light. Looks like the brand is Fight Electric, par 38. Don't know much about this light. It was brand new in the package, and I think I sold it for a little less than I should have. I sold this for $19.99. If I was to do more research, I probably could have got more, but I wasn't confident for one reason or another. I don't remember the details of why I priced it at 20, but after I sold it, I did some research and I was like, I probably could have got a lot more money for it, maybe 30, 35, not a ton more, but a little bit more money. But it was my first time messing around with this category, with this type of item. So it sold, and it gave me proof that you can sell these types of items on Amazon. And this was a 90-watt replacement light. So I only paid a couple bucks at a Savers, sold it for 20. So not huge profits, but wanted to share that with you because it was the first time I've ever sold that type of item. All right, this was a cool book sale that I made, and I remember specifically picking up this book from a book sale at my local library. It was that same book sale that I went to, and I ended up selling a book that I got for free for 150 bucks. I sold a bunch of other books as well, but the cool thing about this book sale is I was getting books for like 50 cents, 25 cents, a dollar. It really was dependent upon if it was a hardback, a soft cover, a paperback. But this book right here, I remember scanning it. It was a little bit higher of a rank. Let's see what the rank is now. So right now it's at 443,000, which is respectable. But I believe this was up over a million, and it was selling for pretty good profits. 30, 40 bucks. And a lot of people, they'll stay away from books that are over a million. That's a big mistake. If the margins are there, if the merchants are starting at a decent price and FBA is at a good price, I'd go for it. Now there wasn't a ton of reviews. As you can see, there were only 2 reviews. But very interesting subject matter. You know how I always talk about, go after books that are unique, that are different, that are odd, that are niche specific. And that definitely falls under and within that territory, 100 small boat rigs. Interesting subject matter right there for sure. I knew it would sell. It ended up selling for 35 buckaroos. So that was a cool little flip right there. Ended up making about $26 profit. Here's a Honer accordion. So you wouldn't expect this, but I actually popped on a ton of this brand at a pawn shop. I went to a local pawn shop that I visit regularly, and I'm good friends with these guys over here. I built the relationship. We've chit chatted. We've talked. I've done business. I've spent money there several times, and I was at this pawn shop. This was probably a month and a half ago. And I walk in and I'm looking around, I'm looking through the electronics, the DVDs, looking at all different various types of items that I typically go after at a pawn shop, sporting items, computer stuff, household items. There's so many different things there. And I saw this big box and I saw a few music instruments in it. There was an accordion, there were, I don't know, all types of different music instruments for kids. And I noticed they were all brand new sealed. And I went up to the guy and I said, "Hey, what's going on, Taki?" That's his name, Taki, and he's a really good guy over there. And I said, "What's going on? What are you asking for these items?" And I was kind of pointing at a couple that I was looking at and looking to purchase the accordion, a couple other things. There must have been, I don't know, 35 of these little music instruments in there, all various types. There was only one of these, one or two, and I was only looking at a few of them. I was just, getting started, picking, scanning, and he goes, "Well, I'm trying to get rid of the whole box." And he goes, what would you pay for the whole thing? And I said, like I always do, like, I'm not really sure if I want the whole box. I scanned a few of them. They're not really going for much, which was true. There were a couple of them only going for $8 or $9. And as you know, when you sell anything on Amazon, if it's $8 or $9, they usually take a good amount of fees. It eats a lot of your profit. So I'm like, I'm kind of like taking my time, not showing a lot of interest. And he's like, "Well, what do you want to pay?" And I'm like, I don't know. What's the best you would do? And I was thinking like, 70, 80 bucks. I'd be willing to pay, $3, $2 to $3, maybe upwards to $4 an item, because I did see that there were also a good amount of them after I was scanning that were going for 25, 30. This one was going for 30. A couple other ones that were pretty rare. And he goes, how about 40 bucks? And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, "Oh yeah, this is going to be a good score." And I said, "Well, like I said, a lot of these aren't really going for much. There's not a lot of money to be made." He knows that I'm a reseller. We talk about it all the time. And I'm like, "Well, how about 30 bucks cash out the door?" And he goes, "Deal." So we shook hands. I took the whole box out. And this was one of them that I sold. Pretty much paid for the whole box right there. Probably make about 15 bucks profit on that item. But I've been doing very well. Keep an eye out for this brand. Sorry for that long-winded response, but I thought it was a pretty interesting story right there. Next item that sold, let me see, here we go, is a little battery charger for a Nikon camera, and this only sold for like 15 bucks, 14.99. And the reason why I want to share this with you is because these things do really well. If you could find brand new sealed chargers for like Nikons or Canons or just really any popular camera, especially the Nikon and the Canons, they'll do well, 10 bucks, 15 bucks, 20 bucks. Even if you could find the batteries for the Canons or like a memory card, they do very, very well. Camera stuff does well if it's current, up to date. Obviously, vintage stuff does well, but you got to know what you're looking for. But this is an item you can find, and I find these things on a pretty regular basis. So that was cool. Next item that I sold was this pair of Hager men's Cool 18 pants, dress pants right here. Not 100% sure what I paid for them. It was either 5 or 10 bucks. Again, I don't remember, but sold these for 30 bucks. So, I've been sharing on a lot of my recent update videos this brand Hager, which is not the greatest brand. It's kind of a lower end brand. I would never pick it up to sell it used on eBay, but for some reason this brand does very well. on Amazon. In my last sales update video, I shared with you I believe it was a blazer that I sold for like 70 or 80 bucks. I don't remember. And I've sold a few of these before in the past. So yeah, keep your eye out for these. If they're brand new with tags and you have the app Scoutify, which is a free app that comes along with um, Inventory Lab, scan it. You want to scan it with that app because it'll actually show you the rank. Whereas if you use the Amazon Seller app, it won't show you the rank. So pull out Scoutify if you've got Inventory Lab. It's a free app. Download it to your phone. Scan it. If it's a good rank, decent reviews, which this has over 4,000 reviews. I'd say a decent rank is anything under 50,000 in clothing. Scoop it up. There's definitely money to be made, and these things do sell. Here is an item that I just recently sold out of. I'm not sure how to pronounce the brand Hylamide, but I was actually at a thrift store in Baltimore when I was on my trip with Mama Profits recently, and I walked into this thrift store, and I kid you not, I've probably never made more money in one thrift store than I did at this thrift store. I mean, it was jackpot city for health and beauty items, DVDs, CDs, video games. I mean, it was crazy, guys. I probably made, well over $1,000, like quite easily at this thrift store. Maybe over $2,000. It was insane. It was crazy. But anyways, there were about I don't know if there were maybe 20 something of these items in the case, and they were asking 10 bucks each. 10 bucks each. They were selling for about 25 to 30. So there was money to be made if I popped on it for 10 bucks each. But I said to myself, you want to know what? There's all these items in here. They've probably been sitting for a while. I said, you know what? I'm going to go up to the manager. I'm going to ask for the manager. I'm going to say, listen, would you be willing to do a deal if I took all of these off your hands and bought them all? Because this place was jam packed. This Goodwill was like stuffed. And that's one thing to look out for. If you go to a thrift store and it's like literally jam packed and there's like no room to put any new inventory, they're going to want to clear stuff out if you make them a good offer. Now, some Goodwills, some thrift stores, they won't even take a second out of their day to listen or entertain an offer. Sometimes they're really strongly connected with corporate, or I don't know how it all works, the politics or logistics behind it. But some Goodwills won't even take a second out of their day to negotiate. But I figured, you know what? I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna end up spending 270 bucks. Let's just ask if they would do a deal. And I ended up just asking a girl who was the manager, and I said, hey, listen, if I bought all 27 of these items, would you do a deal for me? And without even any hesitation, right? I wasn't even expecting her to say yes. I was just taking a shot in the dark. She goes, sure, we'll do them all half off. And I'm like, whoa, that was so easy. Like, literally, I just saved like $130 like that. So it's crazy, guys. Ask. You never know. What's the worst thing that could happen if you ask and they say no? What's the worst thing that could happen? They say no and you move on with your life. It's not like they're going to say, oh, you can't buy anything else from the store because you asked for a deal. So, I like to do this at thrift stores, and I've also begun doing it at retail stores as well. I actually tried it for the first time at a Walmart. Got rejected, and they weren't too happy about me asking. But you want to know what? What's the big deal? Whoop-de-doo. You just leave. You never see them again. So unless you are doing it in a store that you in your local town. But anyways, this was out of my town. I just asked. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, sold all of these. Sold within I don't know a couple weeks. Luckily, I am approved in health and beauty, which you'll have to be if you want to sell these types of items. If not, there are ways for you to get approved. If you're in the green room, ask. There's a bunch of people that could help you in there. Let's move quick because I only have a minute left before this screen share cuts me off. Here is a Lego item. Popped on 7 of these at a Goodwill. Target clearance all their stuff out. Donated to Goodwill. Popped on 7 of these for $3 each. Sold them for 24 each. And then last item that I sold was this book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. This is an amazing book. I've actually listened to the audiobook. This book will change your life. And like the title says, jumpstart your income, your life, your success. Really good book. If you're into self-development, I'd recommend getting this. I also got this book at the same book sale that I picked up, that boating rig book that I sold for 35. Sold this for 15, in it for, I don't know, with fees and everything. After all that, I probably made, I don't know, $9 or so. But yeah, those are my sales. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you are all rocking and rolling and making it happen. I can't say this enough. If you want to make more money, if you want to grow your business, Put in the time to learn and then work your butt off. Put the systems in place, work smart, but work very, very hard, and you can accomplish whatever you put your mind out to. So, with that being said, keep on picking and making that money, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and oh yeah, get the free book in the description 100 Amazing Items to Resell.